a gift box came addressed as being from the Bahamas.
Oh,
for J.J. Armstrong when he opened the box.
My dad.
Jarrett was inside, and the two brawled all over the studio, out the door, through the aisles, into the parking lot, and finally in front of the studio until Jarrett chased J.J. Armstrong
down the street.
Union Avenue. Yeah. Jarrett got a huge pop and did an interview saying that people thought he deserted the USWA the past 2 years, but what happened was that every wrestler's dream was to wrestle in the main event in Madison Square Garden. He said he finally achieved that dream, but he felt he had given up too much and said that he had missed seeing his younger brother's high school football season last year and missed his sister's college graduation. And when his grandmother was on her deathbed, he flew in. He had to fly back out the next morning, and she didn't even remember him being there. He said he wasn't proud of what he had given up to achieve his dream, but when he heard about what happened to Marlon, that was it.
That was the last
great
straw.
Storytelling.
Hey, is it storytelling at its finest or what?
It's incredible.
How much, when you read that, and we're cynical dudes, man. We're wrestling fans and Americans, so we're cynical dudes. But when you read it, if you don't think it through, you'll think that's sappy. Like, whoa, man, that's really sappy. And he just touched everyone's heart within hearing distance, within the sound of his voice. Every member of the world has been through not being there for an important occasion because of some, they had to sacrifice this or that. And so how many birthdays have I missed? Because so when he says that, I go, I've been there. You know what I mean? And so with that promo, with that well thought out promo, I went to the big leagues and I made it. But I forgot what I left behind. Oh. And I had to get back to it. Tell me that don't bring a tear to a glass eye, and I'll kick you in the niz on Main Street.
And it tells you how important this was to him. He's telling you, I came back for that. I saw what was happening, and this is why I'm back.
I had to come back. Yeah, just hot.
He also said that Jesse James Armstrong was a fake name.
What?
Yeah. He said you came up with it because you always wanted to be Double J, and that his real name was Brian Gerard James. He said he could have picked any wrestler in the world to be his roadie, and he made the roadie, and the roadie kept screwing up. He claimed USWA isn't like SMW because it doesn't have big money backers behind them, but SMW doesn't have any wrestlers who can back up their money.
Oh, man.
What a turn there.
Yeah.
Later in the show, J.J. Armstrong called up on a payphone and wanted to apologize to Jarrett and said all the problems in the WWF were a misunderstanding.
They were. And if he would just have listened to me, I could have explained this, and the whole history would have been totally different.
This is so good to take a real-life situation and turn it now into a promo to generate and create this whole storyline here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Incredible.
I mean, it's great. And what I love about Memphis is to an extreme they did this, but it was relative. Eddie Marlin, when he talked about coming back, my wife was on her deathbed because that's a relatable babyface thing. This is why I was vulnerable and I was away because I had to be. But like this crazy action has brought me back, and Randy Hales couldn't handle it anymore. He couldn't maintain all the chaos, so I had to come back. Then Jeff gets in there and he talks about these, but Memphis has always been touch on a subject in real life that is very touchy and run a story off that. They did that when Lawler's mom passed away, I think, or Dundee, somebody like they would do stuff like that, like your dead mom did that. And sometimes I feel like, oh my God, that's too far to go. But with stuff like this, they do it, and they did it a lot because it's relative. Like people, I relate to that. You know what I mean? I have a family, and the other 6 days a week when I'm alive and I'm not watching wrestling, I have to deal with all that crap. So now if I listen to Jerry Lawler, who's the king of Memphis, oh my God, he goes through the same problems I have. I'm immediately attracted to him, and then he's talking about this other guy who's coming in here and going to do this and that. You know what I mean? Wrestling's the greatest soap opera ever.